Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's actually a bit of a, I guess, like fighting your clone in a way, as we have got Roro gonna be taking on Zozo. However, someone did point out to me that maybe Roro is pronounced Roro, because like you got Zozo, and then the bot author also has Dodo and Nene. So that is probably correct. I might call it Roro though, as yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, make sure to go ahead and click that like button if you haven't already. If we can hit, let's go for 51 likes on this video, that would be amazing. You guys always blow it out of the water. Yeah, and then just leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bots, as that helps us with the YouTube bot. Or you can write gibberish or whatever it may be. Tell me write your grocery list down there, or yeah, make ridiculous predictions or something. And then subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is the only channel on YouTube where you get daily StarCraft 2 bots casts, and it seems that I just keep getting deeper and deeper into the bots and AI, as I recently actually started trying to program an AI. Apparently I'm not too old to learn new things yet, so I have actually gave that a whirl with my very limited programming experience. Just even trying to get it all set up is very makes your head spin. But I did find like a good YouTube tutorial by Drekken, who I hope I pronounced that right, from Versus AI. They have a great tutorial for getting things set up, and he himself is newer to programming, so it's actually it's more relatable than someone who might overlook certain terminology for things that they just assume are a given. I don't know about you guys, but if you ever need to look something up on YouTube, whether it be working on your car or something like that, and people are trying to build something, or people are talking about stuff and they're clearly experts, they tend to overgloss things that an amateur might not know. So anyway, yeah, I've been having a ton of fun with that. I was lying in bed awake, like thinking like, oh man, how am I gonna work on this bot? I had to take a break though, because you can only stare at a screen for so long. And yeah, we have got Roro playing Zozo in this game. Roro saying, follow enemy worker proxying 42. I believe there was a pylon placed down, but then it got canceled. We've got a double bunker opening from Roro. This is very, very interesting, with these two bunkers right behind each other. Who knows, maybe the bot author is onto something. Bunkers are very strong in bot games. And then we've got Zozo opening up with stalkers and a warp prism. And in case I didn't make that clear, these two bots are programmed by the same bot author, Sam Ogon. And yeah, like Zozo is a top 4 player in the top 4 bot in the SC2 AI tournament. So that is quite a feat. Who knows, maybe it's going to make it to the finals. And yeah, Roro does seem to be getting lots of work lately, even having a better win rate on the ladder than Zozo though. So that's quite interesting. And we're just going to see how this one goes, as yeah, we have the description for Roro is, I think it's just like the name of the bird that I guess is what a Roro is, which makes sense because there's a Zozo and a Dodo and a Nene. Yeah, but the Rose Robin, delicate and charming Roro, excellent in fine-tuned tasks, but could be overly meticulous, mirroring the Robin's careful grooming. Looks like Sam Ogon may actually have a YouTube channel. If that's the case, go check that out. Zozo does start off going for a push. Roro says tag, mass repair, loses 1 SCV, potentially a second one going to go down. I'm not sure why that SCV kind of paths forward for a second. They're closer to the stalkers. And now we have got Roro going for a fusion core, which is very exciting, as that is something we've seen in the past. It had an epic PVT against -0. And Roro very well may have more developed late game than Zozo, but watching bot authors' bots play their own bots is really interesting, because you probably think when you're programming one bot, you're like, right, how do I program my bot to be better against Protoss? You probably think about your Protoss bot quite a bit. Tank for Roro on the low ground helps delete quite a few of these stalkers of Zozo. And yeah, things are looking quite good for the Terran bot so far, getting a third command center up on location, turning it into a planetary, which is something on Thunderbird that probably isn't needed, but still, we have got then 2 command centers going up, so incredible greed from the Terran bot, having a higher income than its opponent. That's because of the mule bonus that Terrans get. And Zozo investing, of course, in those stalkers that died definitely doesn't help out. We do have Zozo going for a Stargate behind this, trying to poke with the stalkers again, but not having success. I do love that double bunker from Roro. It's just very safe. Zozo has no idea, really, that battle cruisers are coming. However, it does go for a Stargate, which is one of the transitions Zozo has had added to it in recent time. It's been making Tempest for a while, I believe, but yeah, it is a natural transition. We see quite a few Protoss bots out there. If going for these ground-based styles don't work, they say, all right, let's go for some Tempest, because those will help deal with whatever's around in the late game. Zozo trying to push on in, but there's simply way too much damage with these bunkers, the tank in the back shooting away. Soon enough, the battle cruiser is going to show itself, and Roro may be in a bit of trouble. However, look at the expanding rate of Roro, already landing that 4th base. It does expand towards the base to the right, which isn't necessarily optimal, as there is this mineral wall. That's something as a bot author which has just got to be a nightmare, as like you can program something specifically for a map to deal with something like a silly little mineral wall, but it's a lot of work, and it definitely takes time to make those updates and stuff. So Zozo identifies that battle cruiser and keeps shooting, kills an SCV, try to target down the BC. +1 attack isn't quite yet done for the stalkers. Once it's done, that will definitely help out. There's a tank on the high ground helping to zone these stalkers out. Not a terrible trade for Zozo there. Picked off a few SCVs, injured the battle cruiser. We do have Phoenix on the way for the Protoss bot. That may just be it, waiting to get up a fleet beacon at some point, because Phoenix are not going to cut it against battle cruisers. I don't know if you've ever seen a Phoenix try and fight a battle cruiser, but it does not go good for the Phoenix. Stalkers are working away on this planetary, so Roro may lose a base. We see good worker targeting by Zozo, killing those off, and so this planetary will fall, which I think is quite important for the Protoss bot. Battle cruisers are targeting down some of these Phoenix, as they're just not built for it. Anion Pulse Crystals is on the way. Now, that could be interesting. We've seen quite a few Phoenix lately in bot games, notably -0 building them. Injured battle cruisers do try and teleport away, but Phoenix, pardon me, let me just check their range. It's 5, whereas a battle cruiser has the range of 6. However, if you add 2 from Anion Pulse Crystals, you will outrange the battle cruiser. I'm hearing mass clicks, by the way. Is that some battle cruiser teleporting away? Yeah, sounds like it. Maybe it spams the ability or something, and that's why we hear the sound quite a few times there. Yeah, so maybe Phoenix are an okay answer to battle cruisers if they actually stay out of range of them. But based on what that last Phoenix did, that may not be the case. We do have Zozo moving down on the low ground, eating many Yamato cannons, as this BC count has really just risen and risen. For Zozo, it's just a command center battle cruiser building machine. There is armories done. Well, a armory just finished up. And then ship weapons on the way, so that's going to increase the damage. Stalker blinking forward, definitely not the move. And Phoenix goes down to a Viking. Vikings will still outrange those Phoenix. All right. More command centers going on up. Meanwhile, Zozo is just hanging out on 4 bases. So we're really seeing how different bots created by the same bot author can have drastically different playstyles. Like Zozo is hard committed on these 4 bases. Now it's going to keep trading out with these BCs, but trades have not been that good. Stalkers shooting away on the battle cruisers. There is shields done. There is +2 attack on the way for the Stalkers, but BCs are just so darn good, and there's presently 6 out for Roro. No Tempest or anything being produced by Zozo is a bit unfortunate. Yamato cannons are consistently being used by Roro, so the battle cruiser usage is something to watch. We may have to watch Roro against a Zerg bot in the future, see how it does against like infestors and that kind of thing. And yeah, Stalkers being melted away, Yamato cannon killing off more of them. It really just is not good trades for Zozo. That's always been a bit of a weakness for the Protoss bot, in that it attacks and it doesn't really decide why or when to attack. It just attacks. And so now we're seeing Roro, pardon me, expand all over the place. Command centers floating around the map. That's definitely a strength of Terran, the ability to do that and just to spot all locations, basically. Zozo has a scouting probe going around. Just resources lost is disastrous. Things are not looking too hot, as we're seeing 4 battle cruisers built at a time versus 7 Stalkers. Now, Stalkers can do well against BCs if they pool up enough. Just Zozo is not that kind of bot. It prefers to fight, fight, fight. Although I do believe that like having some sort of check in your bot to say, hey, I've failed 5 attacks or something, maybe pool up a few more units for the next one, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's see here, as we do have 8 battle cruisers out poking the front lines. A few of them are injured, but they are just slaughtering these Stalkers. It's an absolute bloodbath. And yeah, things are looking quite hot for Roro. Eight Stalkers at a time. Phoenix on the way. Battle cruisers getting more and more upgrades. I do not see Zozo winning this game. The Protoss bot has gone up to a 5th and a 6th base. The command center going to try and land on top of this Nexus. It'll be interesting to see what it does once the base is taken. And it looks like the answer is maybe try and find a new base, although it's getting shot at a little bit. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I've been posting some shorts on the channel lately. If you happen to see those, give them a watch and click that like button on them too for all that engagement, good stuff, as we spread the good word of bots. And then yeah, check out my second channel if you haven't already, as I post our Afrika VOD, or our soup VODs on there. Falcon Paladin and I casting some pro Starcraft. We have a really good time. We cast late at night, so the jokes get worse and worse as the night goes on, but then they become more and more funny. Looks like we may actually see a battle cruiser go down, so Zozo strikes back. Blink being done definitely helps out, as the Stalker count is actually growing a little bit. 17 is no small amount. Now they will still die to the Yamato cannons and stuff, but the BCs are a little bit strewn out, and that means the Stalkers may have some success, but there is so many battle cruisers. 15 battle cruisers against 15 Stalkers. Now Zozo is spamming out 10 Stalkers at a time, which is no small amount. However, the BCs are going up to 3-1. Zozo's just getting plus 3 attack on the way. This Nexus shall not be. Now, Stalkers are moving towards the north, as Zozo may be looking for a new location to attack. Roro seems to take a leaf out of Zozo's book, in the sense that it likes to attack, attack, attack. Stalkers killing off that refinery. Then they got to be brave and fight this planetary. They should be able to bring it down. Unfortunately, this means Zozo is having its base be massacred. Mass building of a battery in that mineral line, or a cannon, whatever it was, as those Stalkers are now pulling home to try and defend. A bit of a slow death for this one, ladies and gentlemen, but I do think it is worth it to watch these bot games where we get all sorts of matches, and it is cool to see bot authors' projects face off against each other, as it kind of does a good job contrasting the styles. And so if you want to see more Roro, more Zozo, let me know in the comments down below. You can just write more bots and I'll get the message. Leave a comment or leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you do want to support these daily bot videos, consider becoming a YouTube member. And big thanks to everyone that does. And yeah, well done by Roro. It's cool to see that Roro is looking way better. Last time I the first time I really looked at it, it was just kind of building like cyclones, I want to say it was. But now it's definitely progressed quite a bit. Planetaries all over the place. Mass expanding behavior by bots is something that I definitely do like. And the BCs, they're too strong. Cool battle cruiser fanning out to scout the map for a second there.
Let our enemy know our fury. Your probes are under attack.
Zozo says we will rebuild, but that's a little short-lived. Oh, I forgot. There's apparently that Nexus didn't die, or got replaced down. GG.